Hello, welcome to my channel. If you don't know already, my name is Wednesday, I'm a freelance illustrator, and in today's video we're going to go over February's workshop worksheets. It's broken up into 4 sheets, and this month we're focusing on the fillers and support elements that are used in compositions. So using small flowers, using berries, using leaves, anything that's used to fill a little space. This worksheet tells you all about that. So in the first video we're going to be going over how to draw small flowers, and then after that it'll go on to berries and so on and so forth. So I will throw you over my shoulder now and show you how to use that, and I will see you momentarily. Okay, hi guys. So start off, I've got a sheet outlining basically what these worksheets are for and how you can use them and how they'll help you. So we've got small flowers and buds, berries, shoots, leaves and symbol fillers with an explanation of what each are. We have an inspiration sheet just to show you some ideas so you can go through and try them out for yourself. Tennis burst sheet. This is how to draw small flowers. So you'll see step by step how to do each thing. So you can copy it down here. So say we want to do this little flower here, it's a simple one. So there's a circle with a cross. It fills in the 2 bottom quarters. And then do the next step. Which is this middle bit. Kind of sits in the centre in between the 2 quarters, and then the 2 back petals here, they come outside of the 2 quarters at the top and join back down, and then you add one of these little doobly doobs here, and that's basically your flower. So if I was to draw that straight up here, so I can show you, be this shape. This is how I draw it, very simply. Like that. So without a guide, if you wanted to do it quickly, it's like a rounded heart shape. Using the guides helps to keep a rounder proportion than if you're doing it freehand. So you can basically use this sheet down here to practice it as many times as you like, following step by step. Cross, rounded heart shape, middle bit, and then the 2 petals going slightly out. And just keep practicing it until you can do it freehand. You could do a variation on that as well, where you do the bottom bit as usual. You can split it and create more petals if you wanted that kind of variation. So next we'll do the next flower. So you've got all these spaces here to practice. You can go along one by one, drawing each step, adding up until you get to the final flower, or you can use it to just practice drawing all the flowers in using the guides and try your different variations. So this second flower here, it's similar to this one in that the petals are in the bottom quadrants, but it's a double petal. So you're making it fit into that circle there. You're adding the doobly-doo in the middle. The doobly-doo, I need a better word for that. And then again a double petal inside the quadrant. But you can do a variation on that and do the petals on the outside if you would prefer, to give yourself a bit more space. Similar to that, but with a double petal there. And you can add in any little decorative elements. You can add in lines. Doop doo. just keep practicing filling in that shape until you can do it without the guide. And then you can just start to do it without having to put the lines in. It's like two heart shapes squashed in next to each other, and then two bigger heart shapes. So you see how simple it is? It's just making a little pie that's been cut up into quarters and seeing how you can fit the petal shapes in. This flower next. This one's super simple, but I think I made it look more complicated in the instructions. So you start off with a quadrant, and then the bottom two you're just going to split in half, joining at the bottom there, you see, and then turn each of these into a little petal. Do dibbly doobly do middle bit, and then split this into thirds. So 1, 2, 3, and then you've got 3 little petals. So you see you get, it's probably best if you don't put in the middle knot line, but you need the middle line to know where to join to. So half each quarter, and then do a diagonal joining to the bottom, and that's how you get your 3 petals. Okay, doodly doodly do. And you ignore this line here, because you're going to split it into 3 sections to create your big outside petals. But we can do a variation on this, so we'll do our 3 petals at the bottom, a standard, or doobly do. We can keep that middle line and use this to make 4 petals. 4 petals. So easy to add a little variation and you get a completely different looking flower. You see how you can just keep building up all these different flower shapes with these very basic forms. And then you get to the point where you can just draw it like this. So now this one is just basically a longer version. To create a thinner shape, I'm going to do a line down, and in this circle area at the top here, we're going to do our pie that's been cut into quarters, and on the line that's come down into the oval, in this section between where the circle ends and the oval ends, we're going to find the halfway point. Okay, from the bottom of the circle we're going to create a line that dissects all the way across to break it up into these 4 sections at the top here. You'll see why in a minute. And then from this bottom middle bit here to where the circle and the oval meet at the top here, I'm going to draw a line that curves like that. And then draw up 1, 2, 3, 4 petals. And then the middle bit, it can come up as high as you like, but I like it to come up about to the halfway point of the circle because it creates a nice balanced shape. And then we draw in this bit here to create the flower shape. Now this one is more complicated to explain, but it's just as simple as the rest of them. Once you've watched me do it enough times, it'll start to make sense. And you can add in your little decorative elements. Bring a little petal down here. And eventually you get to the point where you can do it by eye. 1, 2, 3, 4. See? So maybe I'm complicating it, trying to break it down into steps here. But it is as simple as just doing these little curves and then adding your 4 petals in your middle bit. And then following that shape. Adding whatever pretties you want in the middle. And you can do a variation on this. That's what I like to do. Is I do a double boop like that because I think that shape is quite pretty. Another thing I like to do on these is add like a little decorative petal extending out. So where we've done this curve, you bring it up and you bring it back down. So it's like a little collar. So this may be a bit more complex now, but I assure you it is as simple as the flowers we did last week. If you can do the flowers last week, you will be able to do this. It might just be that my instructions are a little bit too complicated and I need to work out how to simplify explaining it. If that's the case, let me know so I can look into doing that. But if it works fine, again, let me know so I can just leave it as is. Any feedback you can give me on this sheet will be greatly appreciated.